So today we are going to start with a revision of special aspects of audit in an automated environment. That is, audit of an automated environment. So the very first thing comes that wherever it is an automated environment, there comes business applications. So what are the categories of business applications? So the categories of business applications are uh, categorized as per the business sizes. That is, for small and micro businesses, use package softwares. For package softwares, the example comes as Tally, as QuickBooks. For small to medium enterprises, they specifically use the small ERPs. The small ERPs are Tally ERP, the SAP Business One, Focus ERP, and then comes the ERPs, a full-fledged ERP, which are used by the medium to large companies, and which is, for example, as Oracle Enterprise Business Suite and the SAP ECC, etc. So then there are layers in an automated environment. There are different layers. So what are the different layers? First comes the application comes along with the database, and then when there is database, there comes hardware and storage devices. Hardware and storage devices are servers, disk, etc. Then comes the operating systems, which may be Linux, Windows. Then Mac has an operating system, different operating system. The network devices, which comes switches and routers, and the network. So layers of automated environment are applications, database, hardwares and storage devices, operating system, network devices, and networks. Real-time environment. Real-time environment means an environment where transactions are initiated, processed, and recorded immediately as they happen without delay. So there comes four major components of real-time environment, four major IT components. So the IT components are, in real-time environment, we may take an example of a transaction which is being done through a Google Pay. It is an application, right? So we would require application. For an application to be installed, we need a mobile phone, that is the hardware, and then we do need network, the data connection, that is a network, and then there comes a middleware. We need a banking software to be acting as a middleware, right? So the real-time environments IT components are hardware, network, middleware, and applications. Understanding and documenting an automated environment. So the understanding of an automated environment is necessary as per SA 315, and the documentation should be done of the understanding as per SA 230, that is audit documentation. The audit is understanding of an automated environment. What should it include? It should include the applications used by the company, then the details of the IT infrastructure components for each application, the organization structure and IT governance, then the policies, processes, and procedures followed, and the IT risk and controls. Okay. Then comes consideration of automated environment at each phase of audit cycle. So, what are the considerations that an auditor should take while the audit cycle? So, there the IT consideration should be at each phase of the audit cycle. So, during the first stage step of audit cycle is the risk assessment. So, during the risk assessment, the auditor should consider the risk arising from the use of IT systems at the company or the enterprise. When obtaining an understanding of the business processes and performing walkthroughs, the use of IT systems and applications should be considered. While assessing the entity level controls, the aspects related to IT governance need to be understood and reviewed. So IT controls, entity level controls are usually pervasive control. Pervasive controls, including the segregation of duties, the general IT control, and applications, should be considered and reviewed. During the testing phase, the results of general IT controls would impact the nature, timing, and extent of the testing. When testing of reports and information produced by the entity that generated through IT systems and applications. At the completion state, evaluation of control deficiencies may require using data analytics and CATs, that the computer assisted audit techniques. Comes the next point, that is enterprise risk management. Businesses today operate in a dynamic environment. The volatility, unpredictability, and the pace of changes that exist in the business is far greater than in the past. Some of the reasons environment for this dynamic environment include globalization, use of technology, new regulatory requirements, and because of the dynamic environment, the associated risks have also increased, and the company need to continuously manage these risks. So, what are these risks? The examples of these risks may be the market risk, the regulatory and compliance risk, the technology and security risk, the financial reporting risk, the credit risk, business partner risk, product risk, environmental risk. Okay, so these are all the risk. Now we need to assess this risk as well. So there comes the risk assessment process. So one of the critical component of enterprise risk management is risk assessment process. It involves consideration for risk identification, assessment criteria, definition of key performance. So for all the above risk, we also require the risk assessment process. Okay, so for the risk assessment process, the typical risk assessment process would be given as defining the business objectives and goals, identify the events that affect the achievement of those defined business objectives and goals, then assess the likelihood and impact of the identified events, and then respond and mitigate the risk and assess the residual risk. Okay, so then there are with risk there comes controls. Okay, so there comes types of controls. The controls are general controls, the application controls, and the entity level controls. So the general controls are the policies and procedures relate to many applications and support effective functioning of application controls. The general controls apply to mainframe, miniframe, and end user environment. The general controls that they maintain the integrity of information and security of data. They commonly include controls over data center and network operations, system of software acquisition, change and maintenance, program change, access security, and application system acquisition, development, and maintenance. So the general IT controls mainly includes control over data center and network operations, system of software acquisition, change and maintenance, program change, access security, and application system acquisition, development, and maintenance. Again, recall it: data center and network operations, system of software acquisition, change and maintenance, program change, access security, and application system acquisition, development, and maintenance. So then the next type of control is the application control. The application controls are both automated and manual controls, operate at a business process level. The application controls can be preventive as well as detective in nature and are designed to ensure the integrity of accounting records. Automated application controls are embedded into the IT applications via ERPs and help in ensuring completeness, accuracy, and integrity of data in those systems. Examples of automated application controls. Automated application controls are edit checks and validation of input data, sequence number check, limit check, format check, range check, reasonableness check, mandatory data fields, existence check. It includes all the checking thing. Okay. And then comes the entity level controls. The entity level controls are known as pervasive control as they are all over the entity across all the organization levels. Entity controls are a part of company's overall internal control framework and they relate to internal control components and other than control activities. They are subjective by nature and hence require application of more professional judgment in their evaluation and testing. The direct TLCs and the indirect TLCs. The entity level controls have two subtypes more. These are direct entity level controls and indirect entity level controls. The direct entity level controls, these operate at higher level than a business activity or transaction such as business process or sub process level because they need to supervise this processes and the levels, different levels of businesses, and hence they operate at a higher level so that to prevent, detect, or correct a misstatement in timely manner. So examples of direct ELCs are business performance reviews, internal audit, etc. Indirect ELCs do not relate to any specific business process or transactions, and hence they cannot detect or prevent a misstatement. However, they contribute indirectly to the effective operation of direct ELCs and other control activities. Examples are code of conduct, HR policies, employee job roles and responsibilities. Auditors, now comes the other than this, there comes an important topic which is the whistleblower policy. Auditor obtains an understanding and evaluates the whistleblower policy of the company. How he obtains the while obtaining, he should take into consideration does the company have a whistleblower policy. If it has, is the policy documented and approved? Then has this policy been communicated to all the employees? Are the employees, if communication is done, then are the employees aware of the policy and understand its purpose and their respective obligations? If the policy is not been communicated, so have the company taken measure to make employees understand the contents and purpose of this policy? Then after communication, is the company monitoring the effectiveness of policy from time to time, and how does the company deals with the deviations and non-compliances of the policy? Okay, then comes the general assisted computer assisted audit techniques like see, there comes a major concept called as data analytics. Data analytics, what is it? Generating and preparing meaningful information from the raw system data. And for this process, what we require processes, tools, and techniques. This is known as data analytics. So data analytics is known as generating and preparing meaningful information from raw system data using processes, tools, and techniques. The data analytics method used in audit are known as computer assisted audit techniques or CATs. So, when auditing in an automated environment, auditors can apply the concept of data analytics for several aspects, which may include the preliminary analytics, the risk assessment, the fraud risk assessment, the control testing, the evaluation of deficiencies, and the non standard general analysis. To have a successful computer assisted audit technique applied and supporting tools, a suggested approach to benefit the use from CAT has been defined. And the approach is first, you need to understand the business environment, including the IT, then define the objectives and the criteria, then identify the source and format of data, extract the data, to verify the completeness and accuracy of the extracted data, apply the defined criteria on the data obtained, validate and confirm results, and then report and document the results and conclusions. That's it. Thank you.